Hey viewers, you're watching the Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. Massive protests swept across the United States as thousands took to the streets in order to oppose President Donald Trump and his administration's policies on immigration, national security and education. Dubbed the No Kings protest, over 2,500 events occurred nationwide in all the 50 states, with major cities like New York, Washington, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles and San Francisco seeing particularly large turnouts. In New York City, police estimated more than 100,000 people peacefully demonstrated across all the 5 boroughs. Times Square alone saw over 20,000 marches, chanting slogans such as "Nothing is more patriotic than protesting," "Democracy, not monarchy," and "Resist fascism." The protests filled the streets and subway entrances, accompanied by drums, cowbells, and noisemakers. Despite the scale, no arrests were reported, and the events remained largely peaceful. Protesters voiced concerns about what they view as an authoritarian shift under Donald Trump's leadership. Iraq War veteran Sean Howard, protesting in Washington, criticized Donald Trump's immigration policies and the deployment of U.S. troops in American cities, calling it un-American. In San Francisco, Haley Wingard expressed alarm over the military presence in cities like Portland and Los Angeles, describing it as a military invasion. Freelance writer Beth Zasloff, joining the New York protest, spoke of her fear over America's move towards fascism, but found hope in the collective action. While protests unfolded, Donald Trump at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida dismissed claims of authoritarianism. "They are referring to me as a king. I'm not a king," he said, blaming Democrats for the government shutdown and defending his expanded executive power as necessary to fix the country's problem. Republican allies criticized the protest, calling them Hate America rallies and accusing organizers of ties to far-left groups like Antifa. Several Republican-led states, including Texas and Virginia, placed National Guard troops on standby, though most remained out of sight during the demonstrations. Democratic leaders expressed support for the protest while urging calm and non-violence. California Governor Gavin Newsom encouraged peaceful demonstrations and warned against provocation. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer marched in New York, declaring, "We have no dictators in America, and we won't allow Donald Trump to keep eroding our democracy." At the Washington, D.C. rally, Senator Bernie Sanders spoke passionately, "We are not here because we hate America. We are here because we love America." Protesters held signs stating, "I am Antifa," emphasizing support for social justice, healthcare, and immigrant rights rather than extremism. The movement also spread internationally, with solidarity protests in European cities such as Berlin, Madrid, and Rome. Hundreds gathered outside the U.S. Embassy in London, and demonstrators near the U.S. Consulate in Toronto waved signs reading, "Hands off Canada." Despite the concerns about unrest, the protests remained peaceful globally, consistent with the No Kings group's commitment to non-violence. For some, the protests were deeply personal. Massimo Mascol, a 68-year-old Italian-American from New Jersey, cited his family's history resisting fascism in Italy as a warning. He recalled his uncle's torture and death, fighting Mussolini's regime, saying, "We cannot count on the Supreme Court, we cannot count on the government, we cannot count on Congress, so we are fighting." Recent polls revealed deep national divisions. An international news agency survey showed only 40% of Americans approve of Donald Trump's job performance, while 58% disapprove. Critics warn that Donald Trump's expanded executive powers, use of federal troops, and efforts to target political opponents threaten American democracy. Donald Trump insists his actions are necessary to rebuild the nation and dismisses concerns as exaggerated. All these protests highlight the sharp political polarization in the U.S., with millions demanding resistance against perceived authoritarianism and a reaffirmation of democratic principles, insisting America is a democracy, not a monarchy. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.